Hello everyone and welcome back to Spooky Season. I have my Nightmare on Elm Street t-shirt on. Awesome, love it. These earrings and this necklace is from Claire's. Not in a set. The choker comes in a little set with another choker, and then these are separate, part of their Halloween range. If you have a Claire's near you, go get some stuff because it's very cute. I really like all the stuff, and these are so pretty. I love them. I am going to be doing a 3 looks 1 palette using the classic horror palette from LaSplash. There is a sleeve on it, but I'm not bothered picking it up and putting it back on. This is how it looks. It's basically a matte, almost rainbow palette. Well, yeah, it is essentially a rainbow palette with a black in it. I love it. I love the packaging. You would have seen my first impressions of this prior to this, where I used all of these kind of red pink shades here and did an all matte look. But in these 3 looks, I'm going to do like add in like a shimmer of some sort, whether it be a liquid shadow, pigment, or whatever it is. Because I don't always do an all matte look. I don't know what it is. I'm not a big fan of it on my eye. I do like a little bit of shimmer somewhere in my eye when I'm doing my makeup. Not that I don't like it. It's just it's never something I normally do. So if I am to use this palette, I would pair it with a pigment, a glitter. I'm not going to pair it with another palette, but I'm going to pair it with an individual product. So yeah, that's what we're going to do for this. This I used a pigment, and I'm going to use a liquid shadow, and I'm probably going to use another pigment. I don't know. But yeah, this is the look I created for look number 1. If you want to see any swatch on it like that, go check out my first impressions. I did it all in that video. Yeah, I like it. I love them. I think this purple is way better than a couple other purples that I have in my collection from more expensive brands. Yeah, I think it's very nice, very pretty, very fun. Love the packaging, love the names, everything. So if you want to see any pictures, close-ups, anything like that, go check out my Instagram. It's linked down below. You will see it there. It'll go up sometime after this video goes up. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe down below. I feel very threatening doing this. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below to number 1, support me and show me that you like my videos, encourage me to do more. And also to help me get to my goal of 2,000 subscribers, if I'm not there already, by the end of the year. Hopefully, that's my goal. That's my one goal for my YouTube channel, to get 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you hit subscribe, you will help me. So let's get into look number 1. Okay guys, so let's get into our first look using the classic horror palette from LaSplash. So like I said in my first impressions, which I will have up there somewhere and down there somewhere, this is an all matte palette. It's stunning, and in my first impressions I was so surprised at how good it actually was. But I don't normally do all matte all the time. So for these 3 looks, I'm actually going to add a sparkle or like a pigment or something, not another palette. I'm going to use like pigments or liquid shadows or that kind of thing, just to give us some more option, because that's the way I would actually use this palette. I would pair it with something. So that's what I want to do. Today for the look, I think I want to do Madness, which is the green, and Voodoo, which is the purple, and see how the purple works. And then if I want to deepen it, I'll use Lights Out if I want to deepen the purple. But yeah, I'm thinking that's how we want to do it. I'm going to use some of my V Cosmetics brushes that I got in my brush set. So yeah, because they're super like flimsy and soft, and that's the kind of brush I want right now. So I'm going to start with the shade Voodoo. Pick it up, and I'm going to just pop it on. Anything I already have on my face, so I have my skin done pretty much, except for like the blush and bronzer and all that kind of stuff. My brows are on and my eyeshadow primer's on. It's all listed down below, so go check that out if you want to know any of the details. And let's pop some of the purple on. So I'm going to do this on the outer corner, on the lid a little bit. This is like, I don't want to say a halo eye, but imagine a halo eye. But it's not really, you'll see what I mean. I'm not really doing a full-on halo eye, but I am doing a colour on the inner and outer corner. So I'm taking this purple, bringing it into the crease, really blend it out. It's nice. It's definitely something you have to build to get the pigment there. But it's not a bad tone of purple. It's a good Halloween-y purple. So once we have that kind of, it's mostly to get the colour on and blend the edge out, so that way we have a nice soft blend going on. I do want to build it up a little bit more, and I think this brush is a bit too fluffy to build it up any more than it already is. So I'm going to go in with this brush here from Geek. It's the defined crease brush, a little one like this. I'm going to use that for the black if I do want to use the black, but I have it there, so I might as well pick it up with this. And this is just a little bit denser, it's a bit smaller, so I'll be able to kind of get in a little bit easier. And pop that into the crease. Just where you want it stronger. And I mean, I actually don't know if I'm going to use the black. I'll see how I feel towards the end. I will say, like, there's skipping here, but that always happens for me with matte shadows in the crease. Like, nearly every single time I do my shadows. I just don't mention all the time because it's so normal for me. It's there. It could be the way the primer is. It could be my eyelid getting a bit wrinkly, but whatever. I don't think it's the shadow because, again, most matte shadows do that on me. If you do get skipping like that, just go in either with a clean brush and try and blend it in. It's just that your skin is kind of skipping it, or your primer's too sticky that it's not letting it move smoothly. Obviously, if you set your primer, you won't have that issue too much unless your eyelid is wrinkly. I've noticed it happen more so over the years because obviously we get older and all that kind of stuff. I am only 26, but still. It still happens. It can happen with drier skin. It can happen for loads of different reasons. It can be the shadow sometimes. But it's more that because it's not happening out here, I know it's not the shadow. Otherwise it would happen out here as well. It's happening just in the area that it always happens on me, so that's how I know it's not the shadow. So just go in with a clean brush and go in and blend it out. But I am going to put colour there anyway. I'm going to be putting the green in there, so I'm not too bothered about it too much right now. I really like how that turned out so far. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to deepen it anymore, but we'll see how I feel as I go on. I can always do it at the end. So now I'm going to go back in with my V Cosmetics brushes, but we're going to go in with the smaller one. So this is the biggest one in the set for fluffy brushes. This is the smallest one, I think. It's not the smallest brush, but it's the smallest blending brush. So I'm going to go in with that. And we're going to take the shade Madness, which is that green here. And I'm going to take that, and we're going to do the same thing, but on the inner crease and the inner corner. Just taking some of that onto the lid a little bit. But really go in and blend that up. These are very Halloween-y colours, and that's why I want to pair them together. But this green is fabulous, and it's going on so well. I don't even have to build it too much. I'm just going in and making sure it's all super nice and blended. I did bring a little bit down into my inner corner just because. Well, some of it kind of got there and I just went with it, so whatever. So, I'm happy with how that's looking so far. You could go in and blend more than I have, but I don't want to. I don't want to mess with it too much more. Yeah, I'm happy with how that looks. So let's do the lid. So the little bit that we left in the middle here, I'm going to go in with this pigment. This is Sugar Rush from Makeup Geek. It's like a white with a purpley, bluey, tealy kind of duochrome alpha. It doesn't have to look super impressive or anything like that. I just want a bit of shimmer there. Where's me glitter primer gone? Oh no, not the glitter primer. So instead of using glitter primer this time, I want to use this. This is my NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, my very, very small one and very, very broken one as well. I only need a little bit of it anyway, just down the middle. Keep it nice and bright in the middle, and it'll also help it pop a little bit more. I'm just taking my finger and just patting over that so the heat of my finger will kind of blend it in a little bit. Just so that it's not patchy, because if that's patchy and you put your shadows on it, your shadows will end up going patchy most of the time. So I'm going to go in with a MAC 239 brush. Any flat brush will do. Like, the brushes I use don't have to be these exact brushes, but this is the kind of brush I'm using because I like it. So yeah, I need a flat brush, so I'm using this flat brush. It's the first one I grabbed. So I'm going to pop this on the center, just like that, and then take your corresponding brushes. So I'm going to take my little defined crease brush with the purple on it and just tap over where they meet with the shimmer. Then taking my brush I use for the green. I'm not picking up any more of these shades. I'm just using what's on them, and I can always add more if I need to. Okay, so that's fun because it kind of reflects like a tealy green, and then it also reflects like a purpley pink, and yeah, I think that's very nice. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to just mirror the top minus the white. I'm just going to do the purple and green correspondingly underneath. So let's take a small little brush, and we're going to go in with my MAC 214. I'm going to start with the purple and pick some of that up, and we're just going to work that on the lower lash line right into the lashes. I don't think I'm going to use any of the black. I am going to use it, don't worry, you will see it in action in one of these looks, but I'm not using it right now. It wasn't part of the initial look I have in mind, I just knew I had it there as an option, which is always nice. Then I have this little, like a thick angle brush from the V Cosmetics set. I would never really use that for anything other than this really. And we're going to take that green and pop that on the inner lower lash line, connecting it to the inner corner just so it's all nice and cohesive. And same with the top. Don't overblend where it meets the purple, but just make sure that they do somewhat merge into each other a little bit. Then taking the brushes that we used to blend earlier, so I'm taking that Define Crease brush. I know I used a bigger brush to blend purple, but I want a smaller brush for my lower lash line. I'm just going to use a tiny little bit of that purple on the bottom and just blow that out a little bit more, just so that the edge is not too harsh. And I have a very minimal amount of fallout. Like, there is some there, but it's very easy to clean up, so it's fine. And then I'm picking up some of that green shade just on the very tip of the brush we used to blend it out, because it is a smaller area. I don't want it to go too overboard. And just use that to blend out the inner corner. Okay, I think that is everything. I'm going to jump off now and I'm going to go and tidy up my under eyes. I'm going to do my skin, I'm going to do finish off the eyes, and I'm going to do a lip, and then I'll come back. I'll let you know what I have on my face as soon as I'm done. I'm loving how this look turned out. This is really, really cute. It's even cuter than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, I'll see you in a sec. Alrighty guys, so this is our finished look. Let's quickly go through everything that I used on my face. So on my eyes, I used two different liners, both from Essence. They're both the long-lasting eye pencils. One is called Go Green, which is like a limey kind of green. I'll use that on the inner half of my lower lash line. And then I used the shade Coolest Chic, Coolest Chic, I don't know. It's a purple. It's basically the exact same colour as the purple that I use here. So I use that on the outer half of the waterline. They're not the strongest pigmented ones in the world, but I don't have any other colours that are those tones, so I just used it. And then as far as my mascara, I used my Essence Get Big Lashes mascara, that one there. And my false lashes are the LaSplash Dauntless Lashes in the style Stunner. They're super nice. They're kind of longer on the outer corner, and they're really comfortable, and I like them. They're very pretty and they're very soft and fluttery. I really like it. And then as far as my cheeks go, I used my Fenty bronzer in the shade Inda. If I can open it, there we go. This guy here, fabulous, love it. It's the lightest shade of their powder bronzers and I love it, but I do want to try their cream cheek products. Hopefully soon. My blush then, I didn't really know what colour to go for, so I went with one that's very reliable, and I used my very, very, very well used Benefit blusher. It's that like soft pinky shade up there. I have very much hit pan on it. I do have a backup and one in a palette as well, but it's like one of my favourite blushes of all time. It's quite a soft neutral pink, nothing too overpowering for the look. Then for my highlight, very interestingly, Makeup Geek do a highlight that basically is the same shade as that pigment. It's the Moon Phase Duochrome highlighter. It's nearly exactly the same. You could, if you have that pigment, just use that on your cheeks. But I have the highlighter as well, so I was like, screw it, why not, and get it all to match. And then as far as my lips, I used a very, very small Whirl lip liner from MAC. He's so small. And I also went over just around the very outside of my lip, not overdraw, but just to give extra definition, because the Whirl lip liner is the same colour as the lipstick that I used. So just to still give a bit more definition, I went in with my Stone lip liner from MAC, because that's my favourite. And my lipstick is the shade Love You Back. It's a matte, but like a really not a drying matte, if that makes sense. I love it. It's a beautiful colour. It's just soft. It doesn't take away the colour of your lips completely, but it doesn't also take away from the look. I love it. Very nice. Alrighty guys, so this is look number 1. I love how it turned out. I think it's actually even nicer than I had in my head. I just wanted to put the two colours together and see what happens, but this is actually even nicer, especially because I put the green all the way in the inner corner. Didn't do an inner corner highlight, by the way. I just love how this looks. And if you want to see any up close pictures of this look, I'll have my Instagram link down below. I'm going to say this for every video. Link down below, and a couple of days after the video goes up, usually the pictures will follow. So you'll see up close eye pictures and full face pictures. So yeah, just for more details. So let's get into look number 2. Okay guys, so let's get on to look number 2. No, I don't have foundation on my lips. There was just obviously foundation or concealer on my fingers. That when I was putting my lip balm on, it went there, but whatever. Just ignore that. I do look a bit weird, but sure, look, it's only lip balm. Today we're going to be doing another look using the LaSplash Classic Horror, and today I'm feeling blue. Not blue sad, I'm feeling blue shadows. So I'm actually thinking maybe the purple. Again, I know I used it in my last one, but we'll use a bit of purple. This kind of almost like a royal bluey periwinkle kind of colour. And then this one here, which is a super bright blue. I may use the black to deepen, I'll see. We can kind of just go about it. And I'm thinking just super kind of blended into each other. And then on my lid, I want to use this guy, which is a liquid shadow from Beauty Bay. It's in the shade Opal, And yeah, I want to use that as my shimmer because like I said, it's an all matte palette. It's very rare that I do completely matte looks all the time. So I do want to add in bits that is going to make it look the way I would actually use it, and then I can see how it works in my general routine. So that's what we're going to do. I already have a little bit of face on, got my foundation, brows and primer on, which I will have all listed down below so you can check out there. So let's get into the look. Yeah, let's start with the blue, which is Curse, and this is going to be used with a BH Cosmetics Lavender Luxe number 5 brush, just a big fluffy brush. Picking up some of that, and from swatching it, it looks very intense, so we're just going to use a little bit at a time. So this is just going to go on the outer corner, kind of into the crease, but I'm not bringing it all the way in. I'm kind of just keeping it to that outer third of the crease. And we're just going to keep adding it, keep blending it. The colours in this are like definitely buildable, so they're not, although they're quite bright, and I'm saying that they come out quite bright, some of them do need to be built up a little bit, like say the purple did in my last look and all that kind of stuff, but it's fine. It's actually nice using something like that where I can build it up as much as I want to. I'm not getting full whack every single time, and if you're not used to doing shadows with bright colours, it's nice to have that blendability there. So then, keeping with that same brush set, the Lavender Luxe from BH Cosmetics, I'm going to go in with the number 8 brush, which is a fluffy brush, but it's kind of flat. And I'm going to go into the shade Blue Moon, which is that kind of royal periwinkle blue. I don't know how to describe it. This one now is very, very, very bright, to the point where it's like other shadows where it is just bright. So I'm just taking a little bit and I'm really tapping it off. And this is going to go in to the crease next. Just a little bit at a time, and then just really go in and blend it. And this is going to be kind of like the little bridge between the purple and the blue. Okay, I'm loving it. I think it's very nice, very pretty, very cool. So now I'm going to go back in with another brush from that set, and this is number 6, which is a really small little skinny blending brush. And we're going to go in to the shade Voodoo, which is the purple, which I used in my last look. Here, and it's nice. Again, it's one that you kind of have to build up. I would say as well, when you're swatching it, I noticed it when I actually touched the shadows. This one is quite gritty, almost like the one from Huda, but it actually has pigment and it actually works. The one from Huda, the Desert Dust palette, doesn't work, not in my batch anyway. So this one actually does come up onto the brush. It's nice and buildable. It's really nice. This is just going to go on the inner part of the eye. And I'm going to just start blending that up a little bit. I'm just blending it into that sort of periwinkle shade. Again, kind of like another halo eye. I didn't really mean to do that, but yeah, that's how it's after turning out. I do want to bust into that black a little bit, so I'm going to take a small little bit on a number 7 brush from that Lavender Luxe set. It's a smaller one than the first one that we used for the blue, so it's just a little bit smaller. And I only want a little bit of the black anyway, so just take the tiniest little dab just on the very tip of the brush. Tap it off, and this is just going to go in and deepen this outer part here. I don't want to lose the blue at all. I'm just taking a small bit just to see how it looks, see how it works, because I didn't use it in my first impressions. And then just going back on whatever's left on that brush that I used for the blue, and just go over that just so it blends into the blue nicely and you don't lose any of that nice colour. Does deepen it nicely though, and I only used a small little bit, so you can definitely go in with more if you wanted to. Okay, I think for the lower lash line, I'm just going to use Blue Moon. I may add a bit of purple in the inner corner, I may add a bit of blue to the outer corner, but I'm going to all over do the Blue Moon first, and then we can kind of use it to blend the other bits in. So let's take another small little brush from that Lavender Luxe set. This is a number 10 10? Yes, 10. It's like a small little pencil brush. Just pick up some of that Blue Moon shade, tap it off, and we're just going to run that along the lower lash line. I might go in with, say, the other shades when I have my concealer on, just to help blend like around here and in here. But otherwise, I'm happy enough to just use this colour and really go in and smoke it out once the concealer's on. Okay, I went in and did some under eye concealer. It's a little bit light for me. I used the NARS creamy concealer, radiant creamy concealer in the shade Chantilly, which is always a little bit light for me, especially for the foundation colour that I have on now. But say like in the depths of winter when I'm full on NC10. it kind of matches then, but I have got a little bit of a warmer foundation on, but we'll ignore that because once everything else is on, it's going to look fine. So now that I have that on, I tidy everything up around the bottom. I'm going to go back in with that brush, just so whatever's left on it, and just go in and just blur out the edge of that blue again. Okay, so now for the fun bit. Well, I mean, the colours are so fun. But this is the sparkly bit. So this is, it's not really glitter, but it is definitely nice shimmer. It's got like a pink, lilac, blue sort of reflect off it, so it will tie in nicely with this. I feel like the pink tends to go away depending on what you pair with it. So with this, it might completely disappear. And then we'll just have like the bluey, icy sort of shimmer. So I'm just going to pop this on the lid. All over it. Cover up if you want to the areas where the other colours are, and I'm actually bringing it into the crease a little bit. I don't want it to be like full on halo. I want it to have a little bit of like an ethereal sort of look. So where that periwinkle blue is, I'm taking the brush there and blending it. Okay, so this is basically the eyes done. It's quite ethereal, quite a grungy mermaid kind of look, a bit of a Tim Burton sort of style, which I quite like. So I'm going to jump off very quickly. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to do one more thing. So the last little step that I want to do just before I jump off, I'm going to use my Inkblot pigment. This is the shade 59. It's a white that reflects like a bluey violet-y kind of colour, which is like ideal. And I just want to use it on the inner corner. That's it. That's all I want to do. You can kind of see there how it looks. It's very pretty, very beautiful. I'm just going to use the small little pencil brush that I used for the periwinkle underneath, because yeah, I don't mind getting some of that in the inner corner. So this is just going to go in here, nothing fancy. It's almost like a ghosty hue. You could very easily just use whatever you used on the lid on the inner corner. That would work as well, but I wanted to use this, so I never get to use a lot of pigments, so I like adding them in where I can. I am thinking as well, you can let me know, guys, in the description box what you think of doing a bit of a collection, like up close, maybe even like a flat lay kind of thing. I'm not sure where I go through like each kind of section of my collection. I'll either do it up here or I'll do it on the table. I can do like my highlighter collection, my contour collection. I can swatch everything. I can do my lipstick collection, probably in different parts. Or I could go by brand, or I can do my palettes up close, or I can do my pigments, my glitters, all that kind of stuff. I just feel like I want to do something like that either towards the end of the year or maybe going into next year. So that now is everything that I want to do. I'm loving the look. I think it's going to be really nice, especially when I put my lashes on. So I'm going to jump off, do that, finish off my face, and then I'll come back and let you know what I have on the rest of my face. Alrighty guys, so this is our finished look. I went very bright with my lip. I will tell you in a sec what it is, but I'm going to quickly go through what I used on my eyes. So for my liner, I didn't do any upper liner because I didn't really feel like doing anything, and I thought it would just take away from the shape of the eye. Yes, I know it's kind of similar to the one I did in the first look, just with different colours, but I really like how this one turned out, and the lip kind of makes it a bit different. So I used my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Ultraviolet, which is that kind of royal blue colour, to blend into the waterline down here, because I've got that kind of colour on my lash line. I then used my Essence Get Big lashes, mascara on my top and bottom lashes, and then for my actual lashes I use my Siren Doubles from House of Lashes. They're fabulous. I love them. Yeah, they fit the eye really nice because they are actually a smaller band, so they're actually shorter than my eye lash line, but they still look really nice and really dainty but still dramatic, so I like it. Then on my cheeks I used these guys here. So for my contour I used my Nabla Shade Contour, whatever it's called, shading powder in the shade Gotham. I used that for my contour, and then for my blusher I used my Makeup Geek Cherish blush. And then for my highlighter I used my Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild Glow Kit, and I used the shade Blue Ice, which has that kind of bluey violet-y sort of tone that matches the inner corner, which is really nice. So that is my cheeks. And then as my lip I used my NYX Liquid Suede cream lipstick in the shade Run the World, which is just a super bright lip. If you can't get this colour, Max Heroin is basically the same colour, so That's the other one that I know, which I don't actually own, but I own this one. So yeah, that is the look. I really, really like how it turns out. I'm going into work now and I can't wait to go into work with this on. And I have my new little spider web cartilage piercing here. It's from Regal Rose. I think these are from Flying Tiger. I'm not sure. But this is definitely from Regal Rose. Choker's from Claire's. Top is from Penny's or Primark. Yeah, that's kind of it. So let's get on to look number 3, because this is look number 2, number 3. Alrighty guys, so we are going to do look number 3 using the Classic Horror palette from LaSplash. And today I'm feeling kind of a weird one. Not any more weird than I normally do, but like a little bit of a weird one. It's going to be a bit of an inverted smoky eye, so we're going to do all the colour kind of on the inner corner and fade it outwards. Loosely inspired by Beauty Bean, because she tends to do those a lot, because I'm always inspired by Beauty Bean. She's fabulous. And today I want to use the shade Psycho, and we may deepen up with the shade Nightmare on the inner corner, and I'm going to use Toxic around. I'm going to fade it outwards and bring it along my lower lash line. Not really going to be anything else on the lid, but I do have some glitters that I want to use, so that's why I want to do that, and I hope it turns out okay. We'll see. It's just going to be a bit weird. We're just going to throw it on and see what happens. I might do a big wing, we'll do some lashes and whatever, and maybe a deeper kind of lip, which should be fun. So yeah, anything I already have on my face, I've got my skin products and my brows on will all be listed down below. I will put my primer on now in a second because I forgot to do that. But that will also be linked down below or listed down below. And yeah, let's get into the look. I just want to let you know as well that I did use my MAC Painterly Paint Pot as my primer because it has some coverage to it, and I kind of want that because I'm not really going to be doing much else on the eyelid, like outwards. So just something to give me a bit of coverage, make it nice and even all over. That's why I wanted to use that. So let me zoom you in a little bit and we shall get started. So we're going to start with my MAC 217 brush, this one here. And we're going to go into the shade Psycho, which is the orange, but it's kind of a very yellowed down orange, which I kind of like. And it'll probably go a bit darker depending on what you use with it, like if you want to use reds or anything like that. But this is going to go on the inner corner. Just taking a little bit at a time. Focus it where you want it to be the deepest and then really blend it up. You can kind of bring it through the crease a bit if you want to. And I'm just slowly going to add the colours in. Bring it into the crease, but I'm not going to bring it onto the lid too much. Once the lashes and everything else and the glitter goes on, it's going to look really, really cool. I'm also taking a tiny little bit of that on the very tip of the brush and just bringing it a little bit down around the tear duct here. Because this is where I'm going to apply the glitter as well. This is like the main background colour. The other shade is just to deepen it slightly, but you probably won't even notice it too much. And then I'm going to blend the yellow out in a second. Alrighty, so very weird, but I actually really like it looks already. I don't know what it is about this. I just love how this kind of shape looks and this kind of colour looks, and I just want to blend here a little bit more. I just think it looks really, really satisfying. I'm not sure. Now we're going to go into the shade Toxic, which is the super bright yellow, and I'm taking this on a Real Techniques domed shadow brush, just like a very big dense brush, and I'm only taking a small little bit. It's very bright, as you can see, and we're just going to pop that down here, just running it along the lower lash line. You can bring it all the way out if you want to. I'm just going to kind of blend it through and see what happens. Okay, and I mean, I've only got one more colour to do for the actual shadows and not the glitter and then the liner. It's actually a pretty simple enough look. I'm going to take the shade Nightmare, which is the burgundy shade. You can use 13th if you want something that has a bit more red in it, but I just want this because it's a little bit deeper, and we're just going to throw that into the inner corner in here, just a little bit at a time, just to really go in and deepen that. You can bring it into your crease a little bit. I don't want to lose the orange too much, but I definitely want to deepen it. I do want to use more colours in the palette as well. This burgundy almost gives it like an antique kind of look, which I really like. It's very cute. It looks like a giant bruise on my eye, but that's fine. Yep, giant bruise. It's not for everyone. No one might like this look, but I like it. I like the look of it. I'm going to go back in with the shade Psycho. Yes, Psycho, which is the orangey shade, and we're just going to go back over all of that. Like I said, I don't want to lose the orange. I don't want it to be too burgundy. I just want it to be a bit darker. It's one of these kind of looks where you just layer a load of colours onto top of each other, and it just gives you this really fun look. I don't know what it is I like about these. I just do. It's very like sickly, and there's something about it, I like the look of it. Okay, so now it looks like you got punch in the face. That's fine. We're going to move on from there, and we're going to take a little bit of the glitter primer from NYX, this guy here, just a small little bit on the back of my hand. And I'm just taking this on this is a BH Cosmetics Lavender Luxe number 9 brush. It's one of those angled fluffy brush. Whatever kind of brush you have on hand will do. Just taking a small little bit of that glitter primer, and we're just gonna pop that on the inner corner here, just tapping it on. Like I said, it didn't really matter about like how much of the burgundy is on, it's just there to deepen. I had a very different look in mind for this, not that I thought this was going to turn out differently. This is what I decided on in the end. I was going to do like a yellow, orange, pink cut crease and a bit of shimmer on the lid and stuff like that, but then I was like, no, this is actually more the vibe I want to go for today. Okay, and then for the glitter that I want to use, this is the MAC Reflex Bronze Glitter. This is just in Christmas packaging, but it is one that is sold all the time. In fact, both of these glitters, I've also got another one from MAC. This is the Copper glitter. It's a bit chunkier, where this is quite fine. They're both normal range. I just bought them in Christmas sets. I'm going to mostly use the bronze, and then I might add a bit of the copper in. I'm just taking that same brush that we used to apply the glitter primer, because that'll pick up the glitter without getting too much fallout. And we're just going to go on the inner corner. And just feather that down just so it really blends out. Always be careful with glitter. You don't know how eye safe they are truly. So I always just say, apply it and take it off very carefully. This look is just getting weirder and weirder as we go on. I don't know if I'm going to use the copper. I might just leave it as is, and I can add it at the end if I really want to, but I'm very happy with how this is looking. This is exactly the kind of look I had in mind. Even though it looks very weird. So what I'm going to do now is jump off. That's it. Like, it's a very, very quick and easy look. You could do this with any kind of colour as well if you wanted to. I just picked very strange colours to do this with. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm going to jump off. I'm going to do my liner and my lashes and my cheeks and my lips, and I'll decide on some sort of a deep lip. I might do a dark burnt orangey kind of colour to kind of match the inner corner shade. I'm not sure, we'll see. So yeah, I'll do that and I'll be back in a sec. Alright guys, so this is how I finish off the look. This is the lip I chose, which is different from what I originally planned, but we'll go through that in a second. So let's quickly go through everything else that I used on my face. So for my eyes, I didn't do anything on my waterline. I left that completely bare. And then for the actual liner and mascara, I used my NYX Epic Ink liner. It's one of those pens, but it's got a brush tip applicator, but it's a pen. And it's super fluid, super nice. It's so like the MAC Brush Black liner, but cheaper and also easier for me to get, because the other one I couldn't get, which is why I wasn't really using it too much. But this I am actually loving. I don't know if I like it any better. I don't know how it wears. This is my first time actually wearing it, but I'm very much liking it right now. And then I did go in with my Essence Get Big Lashes Mascara, which I've been loving as well. I did use up my Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara. I loved it. It's probably like my favourite one right now with the Benefit Bad Gal Bang. I do love this one, don't get me wrong. It's really nice and super cheap. The Benefit Bad Gal Bang though just did something to my lashes that I really, really loved, and I'm totally going to buy a full size one whenever I need to get a mascara, which is not for a very long time, but I will get one eventually. And then my lashes, I love these lashes. These are the Violet Voss limited edition faux mink lashes. Are they limited edition? Because they're always on Beauty Bay, I'm not sure. These are the I Donut Care. They're super fluffy, super spiky, kind of winged out on the side. Everything I love in a pair of lashes. They make it look super fun and fluttery on my eyes, and I really like them. And then for my cheeks, I used my Larizzi Shade Stick bronzer in the shade Aloha, which I love. I got it in a glossy box, loving it. I used a cream because I have a bit of a breakout happening right where I normally contour and apply my blush. So I used a cream for my contour because I find it melts a bit better in with the cream. I can make it work where the powder can stick to the drier parts of the little breakout, so I just used cream, and I found it worked out better than when I filmed yesterday, which I filmed the look yesterday. I used powder and it went a bit patchy on me, so I used cream today, worked so much better. So that's a good little tip for you guys. And then for my blusher then is my Mineralize blush in the shade Warm Soul from MAC. Super lovely, super neutral, and just really simple and easy. Love it. My favourite blush for going on holidays, and my favourite blush when I'm not sure what blush I want to use. It's my favourite one to use. I haven't used it in a while, but I got some use out of it today. And then my highlighter is my MAC Hyper Real Glow palette, and I use the shade Gleam Sheen, which is the kind of champagne-y one. This is like a pinky tone, and then this is a bluey tone. They're not super duochrome, but they just have an undertone of those kinds of colours. But this is more of like your champagne or your gold kind of tone. Love it. I have been wanting this for a while, and I finally got it. And I can't wait to mix them all together. Like I did swatch it and mixed, like put one on top of the other. Oh, it was like a highlight dream. I'm going to be glowing from space. And then finally my lips. So I wanted to use this liquid lipstick in my first look for my Cyber Bronze palette, which is on my channel already. You either would have seen it, or if not, go check it out. It's a very pretty look, and was also quite a grungy, neutrally kind of look. This is the Melt Liquid Set Lipstick in the shade Golden. It's a mustardy pooey brown. It's the only way I can describe it. It's a golden, is the way I would describe it. But it didn't really go when I put it on. It didn't really go with that kind of look, and I was like, I will find another use for it. And then I was actually, for this look, going to do Marrakesh from MAC, which is a burnt orange. It's stunning, and it would still go so well and make super fun fall look. But I wanted to use this, and I thought this is going to be a nice opportunity to actually use this lip. And I love it, but I did deepen it with a pencil because I thought it would work well with the eye, because the eye is soft even though there's a weirdness happening and I have a big liner. But I wanted to deepen the lip just slightly, so I used my MAC Chestnut lip liner. I lined the lips, I filled it all in with the liner first, and then I went over top and mixed in the golden liquid lip, which I love. It smells like, if you know the kids' medicine Calpol, it's pink. It tasted really, really good when you were younger. It's for like 2 to 3 year olds to get them to take their medicine basically, when they're not feeling great, and the smell of it reminds me of that really strongly, and I love it. I used to love Calpol. It was so nice. It made you so excited to take your medicine. So yeah, that's what I used on my face. Alright guys, so that's everything. I love how this look turned out. I don't actually know which one I like better. I'm between the first look and this look. I do love my Mermaid Dream that I did second. But I think this might actually be my favourite out of the 3. But I love the Beetlejuice vibes off my first look. I don't know. I'm not really sure. You can let me know in the comments. Did you like the Beetlejuice vibes of look number 1? Did you like the Mermaid Dream of look number 2? Or do you like this pooey, mustardy, brown weirdness that I have going on right now? I'm not sure. I actually think I kind of like the sickly look of this one. I'm not sure. I unintentionally also matched my outfit. I wasn't actually intending on that because obviously, like I said, I was going to do a different lip. But this is like a khaki brown, and then this is like a khaki green, and yeah, it worked together and it worked out really well. So I'm very happy with it. I'm loving it. Loving it. I'm also, speaking of loving things, loving the palette. This is the Classic Horror palette, as I've said a million times in this video and my previous videos. I love it. You would never look at this face and say this look came from this palette, but it did, and I think it makes it really versatile when you pluck bits from it and then add other things to it. It gives you so many more options to do that because it is an all matte palette, like I said. This look I'm loving though, and my boyfriend is definitely gonna love this look. He loves these grungy, weird kind of looks. That is the palette. I love it. So like I said, leave me a comment down below, let me know which look you prefer. Also give me a big thumbs up if you did like the video and liked one of these looks anyway, and also hit subscribe down below to see more videos. We've got more spooky fun time happening during this month. We've also got more kind of random bits coming in November, and then December we're going to have lots of fun Christmassy sort of vibes. I'm very excited. And then also, if you want to see any up close pictures of my eyeballs or my face ball, then my Instagram is linked down below. You can go give that a follow. I will be posting the pictures sometime after the video goes up of all of these looks, close-ups of the eyes and the face. And also, I will be doing in the future, as of this month onwards, I will be doing Glossybox unboxings on my Instagram stories. I don't want to do a whole video dedicated to it because it's just a lot and it's not really the vibe of my channel right now. But I usually do it on my Instagram stories. And also in December, coming up, the Glossy Box Advent Calendar. I have ordered it. It is on the way. I am very excited. I'm going to be opening one day every day on my Instagram stories. So if you want to see that and you're very excited to see, because the Glossy Box Advent Calendar, I've gotten it 2 years in a row. You get some good stuff in that. My God, do you get some good stuff in that. So yeah, definitely exciting, and you should definitely go follow my Instagram to check that out in December. I'm very excited for it, but also to see more spooky vibes also. Yeah. So I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.